Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you could strum through and kind of play through a lot of the licks to Love Me Like That by R5. And we're going to start out with kind of that opening riff where you play the opening D or the open D string 3 times, and then we play it 2 more times, and then we play it 3 more times, and then we play it 1 time, and then we play open A, and then we go to 1st fret on the A string, and then we go to 2nd fret on the A string and kind of play that 3 times, and then 2 more times, and then 3 more times, and then we go to the low E string on the 3rd fret 2 times, and then we play open A. So you're going D, 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 A sharp, B, 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 G, G, A. It's kind of that opening lick. And you may want to kind of take the flat of your right hand and kind of like do that with muting, actually. You can kind of take just the sliver of the right hand and kind of lay it down on top of the saddle and kind of make that a little bit sneakier. D, 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 A sharp, B, 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 G, G, A. And randomly, the chords that would kind of back up that lick would start on a D major chord. When you play D major, first finger goes to the G string on the 2nd fret, the second finger goes to the high E on the 2nd fret, and third finger goes to the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the D major, we're going to be going to a B minor chord to kind of back up that B note that happens on the A string. Now, there's a couple different ways you could do that. You could do it as a bar B minor, where you do your first finger across the entire 2nd fret, second finger on the B string 3rd fret, third finger on the D string 4th fret, and the pinky on the G string 4th fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a B minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. Now, another way to play B minor that might be kind of cool and a little bit easier to get to would be doing first finger on the A string on the 2nd fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, third finger on the B string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the high E string 3rd fret. And that's kind of a B minor 7, but you're kind of adding in a G note to it too, so maybe B minor 13. But you might want to think about using that for the B minor. And then that last little hit on that 3rd fret on the low E string, you go to a G major chord. And we play G major. First finger goes to the A string on the 2nd fret, second finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret, and third finger on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Another way to play your G major will be doing your 3rd finger on the B string 3rd fret and the pinky on the high E string 3rd fret. And that make that a little bit easier to kind of get to. The D and the B minor. And then the G major, you could actually kind of leave the 3rd finger down as kind of an anchor finger. And then from the G, there's kind of a quick hit to an A major. And we play A major. First finger goes to the D string on the 2nd fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, and third finger on the B string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now, another A you may want to think about is something called A7 sus, where you do your first finger on the D string 2nd, second finger on the G string 2nd, third finger on the B string 3rd, and the pinky on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds an A7 sus. If you're kind of digging on that sound, then you could kind of beat that 3rd finger down between all those chord changes, the B minor and the G and the A. So you could even kind of take those chords and try and match the rhythm of the lick, actually, kind of that D, 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 and B minor, G, G, A, B, D, 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 or you can even throw in parts of the lick. B minor, G, G, A. But a lot of times to kind of support my voice, I like just a consistent strum pattern. Now you could work just downs through that too. D, kind of 8 downs on each chord. And the weird part would be when you get to the G and A at the end of the B minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you might want to make that kind of a big hit on the G and the A. So you want to kind of think about just kind of doing downs. And doing the muting with that can be kind of a cool way to kind of make that work too. B minor, G, G, A is kind of a big push at the end. Or one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the D and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And if you want to make this really easy on yourself, you could kind of think about that whole part as D and B minor. And you'd have D, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, B minor, down, up, down, up, B want to take that last B minor and do kind of a down, down, up, and then hit the G for the up, down, and then the A for the last up. You kind of get that push in there. So you'd have D, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, B minor, down, down, B minor, down, up, G, up, down, A, D, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, B minor, down, down, B minor, down, up, G, up, down, A, up. You can kind of work through that too. And we basically be repeating that for our verse and our chorus. And you'll kind of hear these places where the B minor just kind of has kind of a stop time too, where you kind of work the D, kind of that last one of the verse, B minor, and then kind of a big stop time on B minor, and you just want to work that as kind of a big down. Now something else that I like to add to a song like this too is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the D, you'd have the D string for your bass. On the D minor, you'd have the A string for the bass. On the G, you would have a low E string for the bass. And on the A, you'd have the A string for the bass. So you could add basses to that too. And you have D with the D bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, G, down, A, D, the bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, G, down, A. Now through that part too, you'll hear these cool little guitar hits, and if you wanted to kind of follow those, you could kind of do your D major in kind of a different place by taking your first finger and going over the high E and the B string on the 10th fret, and then putting the second finger on the G string on the 11th fret. And if you strum just the G, B, and E, that's like a little D chord. So you kind of hear these little accents where you could kind of work downs on that D chord. And then for the B minor, you could do just your first finger across the 7th fret on the E, B, and G, and you kind of work that as kind of an accent. If you want to get in that G and A, you could kind of do the D shape, but on 7th fret. First finger is going to be 7 on the G, second finger on the high E on the 7th fret, and third finger on the B string 8th fret. And that's a little G major chord for that G, G, A, and you could slide that shape over 2 frets to 9th and 10th fret to kind of get a little A chord for that G, G, A. So if you wanted to, you could kind of play reggae guitar player and do the D major, B minor, B minor, G, A, D, D, B minor, G, G, A. Kind of play like little pieces of the chord that way. And then we'll basically be repeating that for kind of our chorus. And then on our second verse, there's this cool little hit where you may just want to do kind of a big down on the D, and then kind of pick up on that second D. And then the B minor, G, A, D, D, B minor, G, A, D, B minor, G, A, D, B minor. And then that last time we got kind of that big hit on the B minor at the end of our verses before we get right back into that progression for our chorus with the D, or you might want to kind of take all those little ideas and kind of mix them up too. It can be kind of a cool thing to kind of go back and forth even between those two different feels and kind of the downs, and then throw in the basses. Kind of mix it up a little bit. And then we'll basically be repeating that until we get to kind of a solo part. And actually, there's cool little licks on the solo where you can play 5th fret on the high E string, 2nd fret on the high E string, open E, and then 3rd fret on the B string twice, and then 2nd fret on the G, and then 4th fret on the G string. And then we almost kind of start that over again. We kind of go back to that 5 on the high E, 2nd on the high E, open E, 3rd fret on the B, and then 5th fret on the high E string, and then 2nd fret on the high E, and then open E, and then 3rd fret on the B, and then we kind of take that 2nd fret on the G string, and you might want to kind of work that as kind of a slide to the 4th fret. So you have 5, 2, 0, 3, 3, 2, 4, 5, 2, going into our bridge part, and our bridge starts on the G, and then we do another G, and then we go to an A major, and then we kind of do a big push on the A again. So you could do that with just the downs and have the G, G, try that with the down, down, up, and have G, down, up, down, up, G, down, up, down, up, A, down, up, down, A. Or you can try adding basses and have G with low E bass, G with low E bass, A with an A bass, and a big A's, kind of a down. Or you might want to kind of mix that up actually, put between those two, kind of a cool thing. From there, then we'll be going into our last chorus. So you may want to kind of take all those different ideas that we're kind of working and then kind of put those together into how you want to cover the song. Or if you know other licks on those chords, that could be a cool thing to kind of add into. How you can strum through Love Me Like That by R5. So good luck.